I'm Speedy Nathan. Let me start with a quote from none other than Elon Musk. And I quote, "The coronavirus panic is dumb." New plastic. All right, I got here a brand new Innova Color Glow Star Destroyer Philo Brathwaite 2020 edition signature series disc. And you might be saying, but Nathan, you're a disc maniac. You mainly throw Discmania discs. And that is true. I also, though, am a supporter of Philo. I love his demeanor when he's out there playing. I like how he plays disc golf, and I want to support him. He's a great example, a great person to emulate when it comes to longevity in disc golf. So kudos to Philo. So how is your weekend going? I have to say that my weekend has been a very, very happy weekend. Why would you say? Well, this past week, starting Thursday, was the Waco Charity Open. And one of the things I've been doing lately is I've been taking a disc to work every day, and I'll put it up in my desk. It's kind of like a Nathan's In sign, kind of. And once in a while, I'll take a break and pick it up and just do a couple practice motions. Won't throw it in the office, but do some practice motions with it. But anyway, here's the disc that I brought to work last week. This is the Discmania Lone Howl. It is a signature series, Colton Montgomery edition, and it's a PD, an S-line PD. And little did I know that in the Waco Charity Open, I was keeping track. I had the UDisc Live up on my computer screen. That I would go back and check it once in a while, and I was just keeping track of my favorite players. I do like Colton Montgomery. I like how he plays. I was keeping track of how he was doing and who was, in the lead and everything. Colton wasn't too far back. He was like, I think the first round he finished in, he was fifth. And I was keeping track of it, and I'd watch it. I'd watch how the placings, how they updated on UDisc Live, and I was keeping track of it. And by the time I had to leave work on Friday, it hadn't been finished yet. And also at that time, I wasn't aware that they were going to, instead of having 3 rounds, they would only have 2. So I get home and I check the final standings. Colton Montgomery won it by 2 strokes, and on a course that you don't really see a lot of eagles. You'd think that just looking at how the top players played, they got, if a top player had a bogey-free round, that was great. If they got some birdies in there too, they were up near the top. The top players had birdies and pars, no bogeys. And he, on the other hand, had 2 eagles in the final round in the final 9 holes of the tournament, and those eagles, he used this disc. Little did I know, but this is the disc he used, and I couldn't be more happy or excited for him, for how he did and how he came from behind and won that tournament and beat some big names. And I'm very happy still for him. He's a great player. He has a humbleness to him. He's not one of these guys who's full of himself. I have seen those guys, those kind of guys out there playing. I'm glad he finished ahead of him. And so, way to go, Colton. I'm really happy that you did great, and I went on to discmania.net, and I was looking at the new releases, and guess what? They have a 2020 Waco Charity Open Championship Edition Colton Montgomery. It's an MD5, a C-line MD5, and yeah, I guess I'm gonna have to go buy it. So anyway, I'm a happy guy. I'm so happy that he won, and I like it when guys that I like and I support, I like it when they win. So one thing also that happened this week was on Wednesday night, I went to a local indoor putting league. And this was a first for me. I'd never been to anything like that before. I had no idea that that such a thing existed, but when I found out, I said, I'm gonna go check this out. So I did. All right, well, I just got off the train. Train home from work, that is, and I'm walking over to a brewery that's not very far from the station. I heard on a podcast, the podcast, by the way, is Unstable Discourse. It's a very good podcast, and they mentioned on it that there is an indoor putting league at this brewery here in my hometown, and it's like, I'm gonna go check it out. Didn't take long to get here. Let's go in.
Warm up here. These are at 30 feet. And they choose. Okay, here's the competition. Yeah. We'll see how this goes.
Okay, that's the first one down, and we won the first, so we move on. All right, that was fun. I played 2 rounds, won the first, lost the second one, but I could have played more if I wanted to, but it's getting a little late for me. I have kind of a ridiculously early bedtime, but it could have been maybe 4 or 5 rounds tonight. We could have played, and it isn't single elimination, so it was fun. Might not be entirely my scene. Maybe an indoor league that was maybe at someplace maybe with less alcohol would be good. So anyway, that's it. All right, I'm here in my car, ready to drive home. Yeah, it was a fun time. I enjoyed it. It was fun playing. I just I'm not sure I like that combination of disc golf, you know, a putting league like that, and drinking and smoking and that sort of thing. If you're into that, that's fine. But I don't know. I'd rather have one that's a little bit more purely disc golf, I guess. So anyway, I might go back there sometime. So I'm driving home. Okay, well, I'll say that while it was a lot of fun, I'll probably go back at some point in time, but not regularly. I don't think so. I'd rather find one in a place where it's more about disc golf and without any of these extra things that I'm not really into. I'll be honest with you. I felt very out of place there as someone who wasn't partaking of alcohol and wasn't smoking. I went and you know, my wife texted me and she goes, "So, who else drinking?" And I said, "Everyone but me." So, and like I said, if this is something, if drinking is something you do and you like to mix it with disc golf, and that's your thing, not my thing. I'd rather just be purely it about disc golf. So, till next time, I hope you have a great week and you don't panic about anything going on around you, but you enjoy life and you enjoy throwing that plastic. So, see you next time. Like, comment, subscribe.